FOMO, greed, and jealousy will destroy you. It's okay to like, it's not okay to lust. It's okay to be motivated, but it's not okay to be jealous. It's okay to be inspired, but don't try to become something you're not. Fall in love with who you are and fall in love with who you're becoming. Easier said than done, right? Especially when you see other people on the internet living a lifestyle that you want to live, driving fast cars, with beautiful women, with beautiful men, traveling the world, eating food that you know you can't afford. And you have to sit there and act like everything's okay while you're still showing up, doing everything that you've been told to do. You're working out, you're taking care of your body, you're spending time with your family, you're reading the right books, but you're still in a circumstance where you're looking at other people and you're pissed off. One of the hardest things that you can practice at this point of your life is to practice appreciation over competition. It's okay to be competitive, don't get me wrong, and I don't want you to lose your competitive spirit or your competitive drive, but what will end up destroying you is your greed and your lust for someone else's life. I've experienced this in my life, and I know how I felt during those moments when I was scrolling Instagram and I was looking at somebody else's life and wondering, why the hell have I not experienced this yet? Why am I not able to travel for weeks at a time? Why do I not have all luxury Louis Vuitton traveling luggage? Why can I not fly private? Why do they get to have those cars and eat Wagyu and all these different foods that it would literally set me back financially if I were to swipe my card for that? You know what ends up happening when you start practicing a lifestyle of greed as opposed to a lifestyle of appreciation? You start to resent your circumstances and you start to resent the people who are around you. You start to treat people like they're lesser. You start abandoning love, you start abandoning relationships, and you start treating people differently around you because of your circumstances. Rather than putting more pressure on yourself because you've already done that, you start putting pressure on other people. You start telling other people that they need to change, that they need to read the books that you're reading, that they need to watch the people that you're watching or study the people that you're studying on Instagram. All you're doing is prolonging your success, and all you're doing is prolonging your happiness. One of the hardest things that you can do is to practice happiness when you see someone else has more materialistic things than you, is to practice knowing that your life is equally, if not greater, when you're watching someone that is happening to do something that you have not done yet, or is happening to experience something that you have not experienced yet. I know this, and my brother Kenny talked to me about this when I was younger, because I was the type of person that was scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Facebook, and I would see these other entrepreneurs traveling the world, living their lifestyle, and I was doing everything that I possibly could to get out of my circumstances, but it wasn't happening fast enough. The money wasn't coming in fast enough. I wasn't noticing the changes. The people around me weren't changing. So what ended up happening was I started putting more and more pressure on myself, and then that pressure that I put on myself started to go outward. I started putting pressure on my relationships, putting pressure on my girlfriend. At the time, she's now my wife, putting pressure on my family members. Hell, I was even telling my family members that they needed to stop doing the things that made them happy and to start following in the ways that I was doing, just so that we can all experience this next level of transition that's supposed to happen. Guess what? Nothing happened. There was no transition. What ended up happening was I eventually had to put up my blinders on, and I had to block out the outside world. Even though I was in love with all of these entrepreneurs and I was in love with what they were doing and the messages that they were spreading, I literally had to stop taking in their content. I had to stop watching them. I had to stop listening to their podcasts. I had to stop following them. It was like I knew every time they were traveling, I knew all the shoes that they had, the clothes that they liked to wear. I wanted to become these people so much, but it was poisoning me in my own happiness. It was poisoning me from finding a path to my own success. It was poisoning me from believing in myself, that I was meant to have stuff and I was meant to have self-worth. This is where I really started to do some real digging and really figuring out who Karlton is, because Karlton was so focused on trying to become all these other people. Karlton was so focused on trying to be the guy that could afford the private jet and fly his family around all of Europe. Karlton was so focused on trying to be the guy that had 7, 8 different foreign cars in his garage, rather than just me trying to get better each and every day or getting 1% better for Karlton. Karlton was trying to become that next person. He was trying to become Tony Robbins or Grant Cardone. He was trying so hard to become something that he was not. You know what happens when you remove those sources where you are following these people and you're taking in all their information and you just remove them out of your lifestyle for a little bit? You start to realize some of the things that you're not happy with about yourself. I wasn't happy with the way that I was treating people. I wasn't happy with how undisciplined I was, even though I was telling myself I'm a disciplined person, but then turn around and I would be undisciplined. I was unhappy with some of the habits I still had in my life, some of the poison that I was still consuming or allowing into my body. I became unhappy with these things and I started to focus on these things. And then I started to create my own mantras. I started to create my own habits. I approached my days differently. I'm not going to approach my day the way Tony approaches his day or the way Dean approaches his day or the way Jeff Bezos approaches his day. I'm going to approach my day the way Karlton knows how to approach it, trying to be 1% better each day and trying to love from a place of peace. But here's the thing, there becomes that moment right? Where you turn on Instagram again, you turn on social media again, you see all these people again, living the lifestyle that you want to live. Have you figured out a way to practice appreciation over jealousy? Because if you can learn to appreciate what someone else has done, truly appreciate it with no resentment in your heart, no jealousy in your heart, you know what this ends up doing? Is it makes you a stronger person. It makes you a more abundant person. And naturally, the universe, and whichever God you believe in, everything in your universe starts pulling towards you. New opportunities start to come. Happiness starts to happen in your life randomly and abundantly. You start to appreciate even the smallest moments, whether you're sitting in economy or you're sitting in first class. Your lifestyle starts to have a sense of worth and a sense of meaning just because you are appreciating versus coming from a place of jealousy or greed. Man, if I could talk to my younger self, the 22-year-old, the 23-year-old Karlton, the one thing that I would tell that person, you know what I would tell him? I would tell him, man, listen, don't get caught up in everything that you're seeing on Instagram and on YouTube and all these other people's lifestyles. Because once you meet all these people, you'll realize that they're no different than you. That they wake up, they go to the bathroom, they use the bathroom the same way you use the bathroom. They care about some of the same things that you care about: family, love, abundance of time, absence of fear about money. All they're doing is they're just choosing to show more of their lifestyle because they know what that does to somebody's emotions. They know what it does to someone like you, Karlton, who gets emotionally caught up sometimes when you see flashy things or nice cars. But if you can practice patience and you can practice appreciation, you can have way more in life than any of these other people are showing you. And that is love and self-efficacy. Your ability to love yourself, your ability to believe in yourself. Man, if you're stripped of all of life's beautiful things and you're in the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith and you have nothing else but a damn dog, you will learn to appreciate who you are, and what you're capable of, as opposed to what everybody else is capable of and all the other lifestyles and fancy things that you're seeing online. Now, I encourage you to take the time to look inside and wonder, why do I feel a little way about this? Why do I feel a little sense of, every time I see this person on Instagram or on YouTube? Why do I feel like, I should be working harder, I should be doing more? It's okay to be motivated. It's okay to be inspired. What it's not okay to be, it's not okay to be jealous. It's not okay to lust. It's not okay to be greedy. If you're somebody that's watching somebody right now and they're setting the right type of principles for you, they're living their life correctly, they're doing the right things, find out what you could be doing to be living a little bit more closer to who you're meant to become. But don't try to become something that you're not. Don't try to become that person. It's okay to dress in a similar fashion as somebody, to have similar habits or disciplines as somebody. It's not okay to try to become something that you're not. You are beautiful and you were put on this earth by God to be your own person and to strive into who you're meant to become. You're not meant to live somebody else's story. You're not meant to be in somebody else's movie. You're painting your own picture and you're painting your own movie and you're in control of your canvas. Don't let somebody else paint your lifestyle for you, and don't let your greed or your lust for somebody else's lifestyle cloud the beauty and vision that's around you. My name is Karlton Dennis and I hope you enjoyed this video. You know what you can do for me? Like, comment, subscribe, share this video with one person who is getting closer to who they're meant to become, and hopefully it'll guide them back to who they're meant to be. Thank you so much for watching.